The urgency of climate change and economics. Climate change isn't just a future problem, it's impacting us right now. With rising temperatures, severe weather events, and shifting ecosystems, the economic implications are becoming impossible to ignore. The effects of climate change on our economy are far-reaching, touching every sector and every corner of the globe. In this video, we will explore how climate change is affecting our economy today and what it means for our future. The cost of extreme weather events. One of the most immediate economic impacts of climate change is the cost associated with extreme weather events. Hurricanes, floods, wildfires, and droughts are becoming more frequent and more severe, leading to billions of dollars in damage each year. For example, Hurricane Katrina in 2005 caused over $160 billion in damages. More recently, the wildfires in California have caused unprecedented destruction, with economic losses exceeding $100 billion in 2020 alone. These events not only destroy property and infrastructure, but also disrupt businesses, displace workers, and strain public resources. Agricultural impact, feeding a growing population. Agriculture is another sector profoundly affected by climate change. Changes in temperature and precipitation patterns are altering growing seasons and crop yields. In some regions, farmers are struggling with droughts and heat waves, while in others, excessive rainfall is damaging crops. The result is increased volatility in food prices and insecurity in food supply chains. For instance, the Midwest in the United States, known as the breadbasket of the world, has experienced significant shifts in weather patterns, affecting corn and soybean production. This has ripple effects throughout the global food market. Impact on public health and productivity. Climate change also poses serious risks to public health, which in turn affects economic productivity. Rising temperatures can lead to heat-related illnesses and deaths, particularly among vulnerable populations such as the elderly and those with pre-existing health conditions. Additionally, warmer temperatures can exacerbate air pollution, leading to respiratory problems and other health issues. The economic cost of these health impacts is substantial, including increased healthcare expenses and lost productivity due to illness and absenteeism. For example, the heat wave in Europe during the summer of 2003 resulted in over 70,000 excess deaths and billions of dollars in economic losses. Shifts in energy production and consumption. The energy sector is both a major contributor to climate change and a key area for economic transformation. As the world moves towards renewable energy sources to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, there are significant economic implications. The transition from fossil fuels to renewables such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power is creating new industries and job opportunities. However, it also poses challenges for traditional energy sectors. For instance, coal mining communities are facing job losses and economic decline as demand for coal decreases. On the other hand, investments in renewable energy infrastructure are driving economic growth and innovation, leading to a more sustainable energy future. Insurance and financial markets assessing risks. The insurance industry is on the front lines of the economic impacts of climate change. As natural disasters become more frequent and severe, insurers are facing higher claims and greater financial risk. This has led to increased premiums and, in some cases, the withdrawal of coverage in high-risk areas. Financial markets are also grappling with the implications of climate change. Investors are increasingly considering climate risks in their decision-making processes, leading to a shift towards more sustainable and resilient investments. Companies that fail to address climate risks may face reduced access to capital and increased regulatory scrutiny. Global trade and supply chain disruption. Climate change is disrupting global trade and supply chains. Extreme weather events can damage infrastructure and disrupt transportation networks, leading to delays and increased costs. For example, the flooding in Thailand in 2011 severely impacted the global supply chain for electronics and automobiles, causing billions of dollars in losses. Rising sea levels and increased frequency of storms also threaten major ports and shipping routes. These disruptions can have a cascading effect on the global economy, affecting production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. Migration and economic displacement. As climate change impacts become more severe, migration and economic displacement are becoming pressing issues. Rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and changing agricultural conditions are forcing people to leave their homes in search of safer and more stable living conditions. This can lead to increased pressure on urban areas and resources, as well as social and economic tensions. The World Bank estimates that by 2050, climate change could displace over 140 million people within their own countries. This mass displacement has significant economic implications, including the cost of resettlement, the strain on public services, and the potential for increased poverty and inequality. Adaptation and mitigation, economic opportunities. While the economic impacts of climate change are significant, there are also opportunities for economic growth and development through adaptation and mitigation efforts. Investing in climate resilience and sustainable practices can create jobs, spur innovation, and improve economic stability. For example, building more resilient infrastructure, developing early warning systems for natural disasters, and implementing sustainable agricultural practices can reduce the economic risks associated with climate change. Additionally, the transition to a low-carbon economy presents opportunities for businesses to develop new technologies and services, leading to economic growth and competitiveness. Policy responses and economic implications. Government policies play a crucial role in addressing the economic impacts of climate change. Policies that promote renewable energy, energy efficiency, and sustainable practices can drive economic growth and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. For instance, the European Green Deal aims to make Europe climate neutral by 2050 with investments in clean energy, sustainable agriculture, and green technologies. Similarly, the United States has rejoined the Paris Agreement and is implementing policies to reduce emissions and promote clean energy. These policy initiatives have significant economic implications, including the potential for job creation, innovation, and increased competitiveness in the global market. Conclusion: the path forward. The economic effects of climate change are profound and far-reaching. As we have seen, climate change impacts every sector of the economy, from agriculture and energy to public health and global trade. However, there are also opportunities for economic growth and development through adaptation and mitigation efforts. By investing in sustainable practices, developing new technologies, and implementing effective policies, we can address the economic risks of climate change and build a more resilient and prosperous future. The urgency of climate change requires immediate action, and the choices we make today will determine the economic well-being of future generations.